Three got a 3 bedroom, 2 bath coming up. I think it's like Cooperstown or somewhere. I'm not even sure where it is. It's like going down 65. Remember I talked to you about it before, Rick?
I don't know where.
It's
Oh,
like a 330.
is that towards
Steve knows where Cooperstown is, I'm sure.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's up
Steve,
north, close to Millersville area.
there you go.
Yeah.
Millersville, like we know where that is.
All right. So does anybody have any wins from the weekend? Any contracts, any new buyers, sellers? Anything
do.
anybody do what?
I said I do.
What you got?
I've been working with young sellers who put an offer in Saturday, and they took the offer yesterday.
Good deal. So you under contract?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody else? All right. Anybody got any listings coming soon?
Listing coming up on the 10th in Lebanon.
And that's the 5 acres, right?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Got a 3 bedroom, 2 bath coming up. I think it's like Cooperstown or somewhere. I'm not even sure where it is. It's like going down 65. Remember I talked to you about it before, Rick?
I don't know where.
It's
Oh,
like a 330.
is that towards
Steve knows where Cooperstown is, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
Steve,
up north, close to Millersville area.
there you go.
Yeah.
Millersville, like we know where that is.
Right next to
Dogtown, I think.
Right next to
Steve will
Plastic.
sell it.
Steve Wilson. Oh,
I've got a coming up this Friday in Rockville coming up for. We're gonna put it on the market for for $649, and I've got one in one in my subdivision. I'm gonna put up hopefully Friday for $475.
cool. Well, good.
We're doing professional pictures on the Rockville one today.
Anybody else got any listings they want to let people know about?
I've got 2 coming up. One will be in Antioch. It's a 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath, but the contractors are still fixing up some stuff. And then I'll have one in Antioch, but it's gonna be June. 3 bedroom, 3.5 bath.
All right. All right. Well, I enjoy hearing y'all's wins. I enjoy hearing we got listings. Real estate's definitely we've seen a pickup. A lot of the agents in the office got things going, so that's great. One thing I do hear a lot is finding, those first-time home buyers and the frustration they have when they're only approved for $250,000 or $300,000. And so, or even under 400, we're seeing multiple offers on a lot of these. So, has anybody put any offers in lately under 400 where you've seen the multiples back again?
Mine was this weekend. It was in Tullahoma for like 225.
Yep. Anybody else?
I've got had multiple offers on 5 to 550 price range.
Wow.
Like I've been into multiple offer situations, and then I know David, I don't know if he's on here, but he is in a multiple offer situation right now out in Pleasant View on I think it's priced at $569.9, the house is, and it's under multiple offers.
So we're seeing a lot of that, and that again is talking about our inventory, or our low inventory. And so one thing I kind of want to go over today was last week we talked about open houses. Well, one thing, and this will play off of that, or one of the things in the list of finding off-market properties or properties before they are listed. So we all will have, hopefully are getting buyers in our database. And if we take those buyers from our database that are farther along in the process, and actually looking at houses or are pre-approved, and we're having trouble finding those homes, there's a couple of things we can do as agents, because one of those things of adding value is we need to be letting agents know, or letting our clients know that we will look for off-market opportunities. So we've talked a number of times about simply going to Real Tracks and putting in that search criteria that they're looking for, and then clicking on expired listings. Okay. Now, if you are finding expireds that are just a week or two or even a month old, those people have gotten phone call after phone call after phone call of people trying to get them to list. Okay. And your angle is totally different. You're just trying to find a product available to sell to your buyer. So when we look at those expireds, there's nothing wrong with going back even 6 months to find those expireds. So make those phone calls and just find out, hey, have you all changed your mind, or where are you at in the process? I will tell you, when you are looking at the expireds, make sure that those homes have not been relisted or sold. And that's as simple as either going to that property, going to CRS tax and seeing if it's relisted or if it's sold within that 6 month period. You can see the last sale date in CRS tax. And so if it's sold within that from when it expired till today, you know that's that's kind of off the table. And the other thing to do in the expireds is make sure they're not brand new homes. We see a lot of builders put out homes before they've even gone vertical or out of the ground, and those naturally expire because they haven't started, or they're looking for an end buyer before they even start to build. So and they've got their own agents, those builders do, so working in those communities. So I would probably not go after the new constructions, and I would be careful in making sure that you check those expireds and make sure they have not been relisted or sold in that process. The other thing we can do is we can look at CRS tax and look for absentee owners. So when we look at CRS tax, and we can put absentee owners for in-state or out-of-state, okay? And that's as simple as when you get on CRS tax. And if you need help with that, I'll be glad to show you how to do it. It's very easy. You just go to your CRS tax, go to prospecting, and then put the criteria on your left side. Okay. And so when you are searching for out of town or in state, but they don't live at that address, they got a different address, those generally are going to be rental homes. And so as we look at those rental homes, you'll see who owns it. And when you see all the progressives, the America Homes for Rent, the Tricons, all these corporate, those are probably not the ones to try to go get. You're looking for that mom and pop, and because you never know where they're in the process. And they may have waiting for this lease to come up, and then they're going to sell the property. And so you're getting a jump on that process by saying, hey, I've got a buyer for this home. When we send out those letters, whether it be to absentee owners, or whether it's you can't find the phone number of an expired listing, so you're having to send a letter, make it as personal as possible. In Paperless Pipeline, we actually got a letter that we were using back in the crazy days when everything was selling in a few hours. And it actually is a template of talking about, hey, we put the initials of your buyer. You don't want to give their name. We let them know they're pre-approved, and you can actually send, possibly send a pre-approval letter over, and then scratch out the name, or just put in that, hey, these people are pre-approved with, whichever lender, and here's the lender's contact number. So all those things, and you're making it as personal as possible. You are letting them know that, hey, they want to be in ABC subdivision, and they are ready to go. And just keep it away from, they've got 3 kids, they want to be next to the Baptist church, anything that has to do with discrimination, keep that out of the letter. Okay. But just let them know we've looked at homes, we haven't been able to get one. They're really interested in Blackman Farm subdivision, and this is what they're looking for in a home. If you're interested in selling, please contact me. So that's how we would deal with those. And then if you guys want to, you can pay for the yellow pages. I think it's $5 or $6, $7 a month. And you get 10 phone calls a month, I believe, or 10 phone numbers a month. And you can actually find the numbers of those owners through that way. So that's two ways to find those off market. The other thing is that open house. When we do an open house and we invite those neighbors to a special open house just for them, when those nosy neighbors come, they're coming for a reason. There's going to be a few that are just truly nosy and just want to see what the inside of the house looks like. But I guarantee you some of them, or a lot of them, are going to be people that are thinking in their mind that we're selling in 6 months, we're selling in a year. We want to know what's going on in the neighborhood. What are you selling for, and what they could get for their house. So this puts you in front of people that are potentially going to sell to create that conversation. Okay. So do not underestimate open houses. And if you can do a Saturday and Sunday, don't look at open houses as just to get buyers. Those are off-market properties that would be possibly it's $19 a month. Somebody just chatted. Those are off-market properties that those neighbors are going to be looking at selling soon, and you've already started a conversation. You've created that conversation right off the bat, and now you get to show your value by offering them the market updates on a weekly, monthly, whatever basis, and hopefully you create a conversation, create a rapport, so that they think of you when it does come time to sell. The other thing is after those, once you get their information, after the open house, let's say on Sunday, where everybody comes, hopefully you've gained, let's say just 5 or 6 different buyers that are interested in the area that aren't buying that house. Well, now you reach out to those other neighbors that came just to come look and let them know, if you're interested, we have a list of buyers that came to this open house. However, only one's going to be able to buy it. When you're ready to sell, we are keeping this database of buyers, kind of like that pitch sheet that we do in KV Core already, where we're showing how many buyers we have in this price point for this neighborhood for whatever. We're adding that number to the pitch sheet so they know that we've got a database of buyers for this neighborhood. So the other thing I want to talk about is this, and I'm not going to get a lot into it because this is going to be next week, is has anybody here done a 203K? Does everybody know what a 203K is? All right. Since everybody's still on mute, somebody's got to know what a 203K is.
Is that the loan where they can get it to to fix up a house?
Yes, that is correct. So if you ask most realtors have never done a 203K. Most lenders have never done a 203K, and they don't even know what it's about or the process of it. But when we look at that 203K loan, it opens up so many opportunities, for us to be able to get new people in our database. That's one. But two, it also opens up opportunities for those hard to find price points for people, let's say with a $250,000 price point, because they're only approved for $250,000. Now we can start looking at those homes that can't go FHA or VA. They are a true rehab home. So here's just the basics, and I've got Alec actually is going to come on next week, and we're going to talk about the 203K, because I'm going to tell you, that's a niche that I have no clue. Does anybody know any agents out there that specialize in 203Ks? Because I do not know one. Okay. How about, do any of you know loan officers that specialize in 203Ks? So here we got silence with both those questions, which tells me that's an untapped niche that you guys could tap into. Okay. So think about this, a 203K, here's just some highlights. It's an FHA product, so it's 3.5% down. That 3.5% down is the purchase and the reno. There's two types of 203Ks. You got the limited and you got the standard. The limited is up to $35,000. The standard goes way up above that. It does have to fit in those FHA conforming limits. So whatever Rutherford County or Coffee County, wherever you're buying, it has to fit in those limits after renovation. They can borrow 110% of the value of the home. They can borrow 6 months if it's going to be a lengthy renovation. They can borrow 6 months of payments towards that loan so that they can rent somewhere and not have a mortgage plus a rental. So this product, if somebody's got 3.5% down, and is a product that will open up more doors for you guys. Not only that, when you help somebody through this and they've got equity in this house now, you have created an advocate that goes way beyond the sale of this home. Plus, if they do sell, you created that equity position or help them create that equity position so that when they sell, whether it's a year or two, where most of the time we got to live in that house 4 or 5 years, whether it's a year or two, they are going to have an equity position so that when they sell the house, it's not like you have to raise the price above value just for them to break even. So, when we start thinking of that, and a lot of people are scared of it because they don't understand it. So next week, I'm going to bring Alec on. We're going to talk about that in a little more depth to help hopefully create less of and educate you guys more on it so you're not scared of it. And start looking at that as a possibility of adding to your of what you do. But like I know, I'm not gonna mention the name, but we have an agent on here right now. I know they got somebody in here that's only good for like 250 grand. Well, that doesn't open up a lot of homes for them to look at. However, when we put a renovation loan into it, it does. So these loans, they can't be used for like a swimming pool. They can't be used for luxury items. The limited one is basically the flooring, the paint, roof, HVAC, things like that, where the standard one is foundation, is moving walls, and a little bit more extensive work. It's not for add-ons. It's not for increasing square footage, but it could be used possibly for opening up a bathroom and creating 2 baths instead of 1 bath in this house. So, and when I talk about you guys getting, especially if you've been through Buffini or you've listened to me long enough, when I talk about you meeting with different contractors and making them part of your database, this is a good reason to start meeting with those people, because you're going to have to get them out there to get the prices so that you can turn it in with the FHA loan. But if you do this, you probably are going to have to educate the agent on the other side of the deal, because they're not going to be real. They know they exist. They know the 203K exists, but they will not understand them. So does anybody see how that could help, or think they'd be interested in learning more? Because we can do more education on it.
Absolutely.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'd like to learn more about that for sure. It sounds similar to Curbio. Is that correct, or am I wrong?
No, well, what Curbio is basically there for, Curbio is more of a listing tool. So when you have that listing that needs new carpet, needs new paint, and they could get more money to do that, the seller enters an agreement with Curbio to get paid for Curbio to get paid at closing. Curbio comes in and does the
Got
work,
you.
and then
So
gets
it's more
paid
for
at
a
the end.
seller.
Right.
And then the one you're referring to is more for a buyer.
This is for a buyer. You will actually
Okay.
close on the deal, and then you'll go through the process of the 203K and get it finished out. And then so you'll actually close. Let's just say it's $200,000 and you got 40,000 in renovation. You'll actually close a 240,000 your contract, but you'll be paid on 200 as an agent, and then the buyer goes through that renovation that you've already set up or helped set up with your contractors that and they get that done. Then FHA does their final appraisal, then the money's paid out from escrow. So contractor knows they're getting money. The money's already in escrow. And they just go through that process. So and like I say, again, it's 110% of value, plus there's the ability for them to finance 6 months of payments in the deal, so that those payments, they're not paying a mortgage payment plus a rent payment. So anyway, and again, we'll get more in depth with that. But it's definitely something to use out there, and it's not going to be for every buyer. You think there's a lot of buyers out there that can't see past or what's going to happen with a renovation. We all had the buyers where we walk in and the wall's yellow and they can't see past the yellow wall, and all it is a coat of paint, but they can't see past it. This is not for them. This is for the buyer that likes the shows, Love It and List It or whatever, where they've renovated the home, and they like watching that process and they can see past it. So we'll Alex going to be on here next week and we'll talk and dive more into it. So I would bring your questions, but that gives you guys a advertising piece that nobody else. I personally have not seen anything out there yet that an agent's advertising that, hey, I'm a 203K expert. Don't know what a 203K is. Let me show you how you can buy a home and renovate it all with one loan. I mean, has anybody seen any advertising for that from a lender or an agent? So I think it's open, and I think, you guys that work in these other counties like Coffee County, or Bedford County and all that, it's definitely not there. So it opens up, and there's, and Steve and CJ, I know I'm talking to you guys because I know you show quite a bit of property in Coffee County, but there's quite a few homes that need and could utilize the 203K and make it a home that's perfect to purchase, for your buyers that can't afford anything and don't have the money to renovate. So again, yes. So I see some of CMG offers it. Most lenders have the ability to offer it. It's just an FHA product. It's nothing. I mean, we've got the ability, and that's why I got Alec coming on there here next Sunday or next Monday, because we offer it, and most lenders do offer it, but they just don't do it, and nobody talks about it. Nobody advertises it. But again, the talk today is finding those off markets, finding those homes for buyers that you haven't been able to, or you've been losing out on multiple offers. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys will be here Monday for it. If you know other agents that would be interested in hearing about this, I encourage you to invite them next week. So any questions or anybody want to add anything to today? All right. Well, guys, we will see you next Monday. Don't forget Thursday. We do have Matt and Ben will be doing their broker open on Mondays. You can learn from them, or on Thursday. So I encourage you all to get on with them and learn more about that. And then again, just think about the 203K and the ways that you can utilize it in your business. And then we will dive more into the mortgage product itself on Monday next week. So we will see you all next week.
All right. Have a good week, guys.
Have a great week, y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.